Here at Intoxicated Reviews, we intellectually dissect the art of cinema, scene by scene. Here's some clips.
All he is just a fucking big wooden doll full of cum, chasing kids around.
You look up guys who poop in a bag. I think that's where you'll find him. Because he is hurt.
It's probably just in your search history anyway, isn't it?
This movie fucking blows.
So don't forget to subscribe to Intoxicated Reviews on all places you find podcasts. Except Spotify. We're working on it.
Hey everyone, Chris Hansen here of Hansen vs. Predators and Catch Your Predator. Why don't you have a seat right over there and listen to Kyle and Brandon, our podcast. According to my chat logs, Kyle and Brandon have interesting guests.
No, I hated it.
Yeah.
Everybody's sweaty, everybody's on drugs, so they're super sweaty but also touchy, and then they touch your face, then you leave there, and the next day you have pimples.
Fantastic conversation.
He's underground in a lab, floating in a tank of water, because he almost died.
And most important, no predators.
Do not take product if you are hypersensitive.
Oh, hey there, Internet, and welcome back to the Intoxicated Podcast. I'm your host, Sarah McClellan, and this is the comedy podcast that gets personal. And how is everybody doing? I was trying to think of things to talk about during this intro, and I don't have a lot to talk about because not a lot has been going on. How has the last week been for me? Well, I'm pretty much nocturnal now, so that's kind of an issue. My regular sleeping time currently is anywhere from 5 to 7 a.m. until usually 1 or 2. It's a big problem, but today I did get up at 11, which was a big deal for me, and I ended up not napping either. But here we are again. It is 3 a.m. and I'm probably going to fall back into old patterns. So truly, fuck it. Nothing matters, right? What else is there? I am currently working away at updating the website. It's a big mess right now, but over the next couple days, I am going to be kind of redoing that. Something for me to do. I recently bought a coloring book. Yeah, a coloring book. Judge away, but it's actually a really relaxing thing to do, while I'm just listening to things. What else? Just going crazy like everyone else, I guess. I guess you could say that I'm dealing with this pandemic manically. Truly there are days that I feel like I do nothing but dance around my apartment and watch YouTube. And then there are other days that are just really, really bad. So taking each day as it comes, and that is what it is. On the subject of the pandemic, though, I did want to address some bonus episodes that I might have coming up. I do plan on recording some solo bonus episodes very soon, and my plan is to probably release a couple sort of on the main feed publicly, and then have more regular ones on Patreon. So I'm still kind of thinking about how to revamp the Patreon, and what other things that I might be able to offer in terms of extra content. So stay tuned for that, but I should have a bonus episode up on this main feed in the next couple of days. Just because, I don't want to be talking about, all my inner workings and all my thoughts in these intros, because it'd just be really long intros. So if you are interested in that, stay tuned for those bonus episodes. In the meantime, I'm going to keep fucking talking to people. That's my plans. So this week I have an episode with returning guest Vicki Welch and a brand new guest, Durham Laporte, who is a fairly new comedian in this scene, but he is a go-getter, did a lot of mics back when we had open mics. Remember those days? And he's just an all-around awesome, nice guy. I've been really digging doing these sort of group episodes with comedians. It's been great. But that said, if you do have any suggestions for guests or anyone I should reach out to, please reach out to me and let me know. Because I'm kind of down to do whatever at this point. Everything will be remote, so there's really no limit on who I could reach out to at this point. So when you're hearing this, tomorrow, Saturday, the 18th of April, I am going to be doing a live stream. I didn't do a debate stream on Thursday. I just don't want to be overwhelming people with live streams. But all of this being said, I'm streaming on Saturday night and I'm getting drunk for the first time in months. I kind of toned down my drinking over the last, I would say, 5 months or so. It's been a long time since I've gotten really drunk, and your girl needs it. Life has been a little bit brutal, and I feel like I've been good up until this point. So Saturday night is my chance to let loose, have a bunch of drinks. I'm going to zoom in a couple of people who might want to pop in and drink with me. I'm going to have a spinning wheel with a bunch of different kind of interactive things that I can do. I might watch some of my favorite TikToks and just laugh at stupid shit on the internet. You know, it's just going to be a fun stream. So I encourage you to tune into that. Talk to me in the chat. Please talk in the chat and let me know you're watching. Stuff like that really, really makes the live stream a lot of fun. So tune in to the Sarah Finally Gets Drunk live stream on Saturday, April 18th. That's going to be at 9 p.m. Atlantic Standard Time on Twitch and YouTube. And speaking of those two things, make sure you do subscribe on there on YouTube and Twitch, and also follow Intoxicated on social media, Facebook and Instagram. And on Twitter, we are _Toxicated. Spread the word about the show and tell your friends to listen. You can also leave an iTunes rating or review. Extremely helpful. And if the review is funny and awesome, I will read it on the show. I get weekly updates on the reviews, so please leave a review. I would really appreciate it. And of course, you can sign up for Patreon. That is patreon.com/intoxicated. That's all I have for you guys. Enjoy this week's episode with Vicki and Durham.
All right.
This is the thing, like, I truly don't... I have nothing to talk about, because there's nothing.
There's nothing don't go anywhere, don't do anything. Like, I walked my cat today, and that was the highlight of my week. Like,
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think that, like, the situation is going to be top of mind for a while. Like, it's going to be a while before we stop talking about this. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, it's such a big thing. But let's just get right into it. Let's just jump right in.
All right.
Let's just jump into
Alrighty.
the lake without a life jacket. Welcome to the Intoxicated Podcast, everybody. We are back. We are on Zoom, and I have two guests with me yet again today. Welcome back to the show, Vicki Welch. Your, I guess, second time?
Yeah, second time.
Second time, yeah. Yeah, you've done live streams, but second episode. Yeah.
Yeah.
And a new guest. Please welcome Durham Laporte.
Hello.
Welcome.
Excited to be here.
Usually it would be a lot different. You'd be here with me. And God knows when that will happen again. And that is very depressing to me. Because I don't like, I'm glad I can do this, but I don't like doing this.
No,
Like-
it's definitely would feel so different from what you're used to. And like, I feel like having a conversation over Zoom is so much different from like a person-to-person conversation.
It is, but the more of them I do, the more comfortable I get.
Yeah.
You know what I
I
mean?
get used to them with like work calls, so I'm like a little more used to them. But I always feel like I am like working when I'm on a Zoom call. Like,
Yeah.
like ready. I gotta like sit forward and just like I'm way more concerned with my appearance than usual.
Well, yeah. So, as you guys know, we're in a pandemic. Shocker. Breaking news. How are you guys doing in all this? We're checking in. It's a mental health check-in.
I'm doing all right. Like the only thing that really changed in my life is there's no more stand-up because I'm still working a lot. So It's just like my life before stand-up now, where I just work, get home, get high, watch Netflix. And the only difference is I don't hate myself as much now.
Oh, you don't hate yourself as much now.
No, well, before it was I just did that because I was depressed, but now it's because I can't do anything else.
Right. So you got you got into stand-up as a way to deal with depression, as most do.
No, I wouldn't say that. I think I was already like kind of out of it. I've always wanted to, like, even when I was a kid, I was like, I want to be funny, and then I've just finally decided to do stand-up this year.
Amazing. But you're like it's fairly normal to you just like coming home, staying at home, chilling at home kind of thing. Yeah. I envy you on so many levels because the people who are enjoying this, I don't understand. I don't understand these people who are like, I'm thriving right now. Like, I'm like, no, I am not thriving. Yeah, I know. Okay, so Vicki, how are you doing?
Not great. Not going great over here.
Oh my God, I know.
I have a job that's like really fun, that I deal with people and that I really enjoy, and not being able to do stand up. I also do karaoke once a week. Like, I am out and about like probably 5 nights a week at least, and this is just killing me. Like, I don't like texting to talk to people. I love to talk to people face to face. Like, the Zoom calls still like don't have that thing, and I'm just losing my mind. I can't be creative. I'm trying to come up with like write or do something. Can't be creative. Went full nocturnal. I'm actually doing the whole stay up for the whole day and go to bed early. So I've been up since like 7 o'clock last night.
Oh, so you're doing the opposite of what I'm doing. Lately I've been going to sleep anywhere between 5 and 7.
Yeah, I've been about there, and even later, like sometimes like 11, and then sleeping till like 7.
Oh, okay. Oh, so you are staying up. Okay, yeah. Weird. Wow.
Yeah, so I'm trying to do the reset. So
yeah.
But what's the point, you know?
Well, see, this is the thing. A lot of people are saying that. It's like what I'm hearing a lot is like, what's the point of nothing matters? What's the point of anything? And I would argue like we should have some sort of point. Otherwise, like we are all going to just forget how to be human. You know what I mean? Like we're going to forget what it's like. Like Durham, you're still working. Vicki, you're not, right?
Nope.
So you still have that element of your life that's normal, you know? Like a routine, like where you have a responsibility. So in your case, I feel like the people who are still working, they can do whatever the fuck they want outside of that. You know what I mean? They can be the ones to say, who cares? What's the point? But I feel like with us, it's like we got to find a reason.
That's fair.
You know, like we got to find something.
Like the only reason I'm like not full nocturnal or trying to fix it is because stores have limited hours. So I have to be up by 7 or 8 or I can't get groceries or do any of that stuff. So
it's such an adjustment. Yeah. We need a purpose. We need a reason. Like I say to myself 3 things. Every day I need to do 3 things. And if I don't do more, that's fine. If I do, sweet. But 3 simple things, like whether that's like today it was, okay, I'm going to record with you guys. That's 1. I had to do a logo for somebody. That was like a couple hours. That's 2. And then later tonight, I'm doing a Taylor Swift dance party with Nikki Glazer on Zoom. Ooh. So I'm like, those are my 3 things. Sweet. I just gotta do those things. And then other days I'm like, I have nothing to do.
I had a day off work the other day, and I finished 2 seasons of Silicon Valley, and I was just like, this is what everyone else is doing every day of their lives.
Right? Yeah. You have time to watch TV now.
Yeah.
But I think you guys are right. I think I'd start losing it after like day 5 of that.
Yeah. I really like just going out and like I said, I have a great job. I sell candy. It's fun. So like I just miss going and interacting with all the people. Like even all of like the crazy regulars and the kids who come in for their free samples. I would give anything to talk to a crazy regular for like 5 hours. Like come into my store or talk to me forever. I don't even care. Just go.
Yeah. You're an extrovert.
I would assume most candy store regulars are a bit off.
Oh yeah.
I come here twice a week just to restock on, gummy frogs.
Yeah. We have their favorites. We get a lot of people who work in the mall and like want like a treat to get them through the day because we work in the fucking mall.
Right. Yeah. And you're the candy that you sell is like fancy candy too.
Yeah, it's like higher end or whatever because it's like you can get, it's like the Laura Secord of gummies. Like it's nicer, better.
Yeah.
All natural, vegan and stuff.
Do you talk to your cats?
A lot. Yes. So much. Yeah. constantly. And there's because I have a house guest cat right now, so there's 3 cats to bother, and they are not enjoying it.
Oh wow. Durham, do you have any pets?
No, I don't have any pets. I was just recently thinking that I want to get a cat eventually. I used to never like cats, and just like the past couple I've met kind of like warmed up to me, so I'm like warming up to cats now.
Are you a dog person?
Yeah, but I'm just not responsible enough to have a dog right now.
That's fair. So I had this moment like fairly recently where I was like, maybe I should get a dog because maybe we'll be here until August or September and I need something to it's kind of like a couple who's trying to get pregnant to save their marriage. That's what how I'm thinking about the possibility of getting a puppy, where I'm like, that's a reason to get out of bed. That's a reason to go outside. It would whip me into shape. Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
But then I'm like, I can't just do it. Like, that's selfish. Like, I'm doing it to help me. Like, I don't know. It seems selfish, but I do want to get a puppy at some point. Not now, though. Probably not now.
By the amount of red vests I see, I think most people get dogs to help themselves.
Buckets a day.
That's a good one.
I had to think about that for a second. I'm like, red vests? And got you. Yeah, no, it's true. And maybe it's not a big deal that I think, but also I'm like, I live in a small apartment, so I'm like, if I got a dog, I'd probably want it to be a smaller dog, like a cat-sized dog.
Yeah, I live in like one of like the smallest, shittiest apartment buildings in Halifax, but it allows dogs. And every time I see someone like going out with like a huge dog, I'm like, how does that dog survive in that small apartment? I know the size of your apartment.
Some dogs are just really lazy and like they don't need a lot of room. But I have that thought too.
Yeah.
I always thought about like getting a senior dog because then like they're already lazy and tired, and then they're like they need somewhere to live for like a couple of years before.
Oh,
die.
That would be so
like,
sad though.
Someone needs to love them, and
I know
they're already lazy and chill, and I'm really lazy and chill. So you know, I can go for a really slow walk around the block. I would enjoy that.
Just walk really, really slowly.
Oh,
so
yeah.
Oh, sorry, we all went at the same time there.
I know this is but I mean, I guess we would have this issue in real life too, talking over each other. What were you gonna say, Durham?
I was saying earlier today, I was talking to my girlfriend about how if I got a dog, I'd want it to be a dog that just moseys around, like low energy, just moseys around.
Yeah,
doesn't bark much.
It's hard to predict what you're gonna get though with like when you get any pet, because like I just really want something to need me. Like, I just want something to be codependent on me. Like, I want a lap cat or, like, a lap puppy that's, like, just cuddly. Like, because my cat is great, but she doesn't let me, like, she pulls away from me, like the men in my life. And I want to change.
My cats are aloof like that, too.
Yeah, I'm like, I want to love you. Why won't you love me back?
Yeah. Just sit on the couch with me, please. Just, like, that much would be great. But the cat I'm taking care of Wednesday, she will come and like sleep on top of me. So that's kind of a nice change.
Wednesday, what a cute name.
Yeah, it's Ryan's Freak's cat.
Oh, I thought you were saying you just had the cat on Wednesdays, and I was like, some joint custody thing. I don't know.
Shared custody of the cat. Oh, you have Ryan Freed's cat?
Yeah, where he lives is like there's a bunch of dogs and like more cats. So I took Wednesday and.
Oh wow.
And she's a big fat fucking unit of a cat. Like I just walk in and I'm just like, look at you, you fat piece of shit. What are you doing? And she's just laying there and she's adorable. But she's like, she's so heavy. So she'll come and like lay down on me on the couch when I'm napping. And it's like a weighted blanket. I'm out because she'll just be purring. And then next thing I know, I've been asleep for 3 hours.
Oh my God. I want a weighted blanket so bad.
Oh, worth it.
I bought one for my sister for Christmas, and then obviously used it that day to see what it's like, and they are the best thing.
Are they?
So
yeah, I got mine right after my breakup, and because I was like so anxious. I'm already an anxious person, and I would like actually kind of like weigh down my bed anyway with a lot of blankets and pillows, and I sleep so well now. They're like the best.
They just feel like you're getting cuddled by a tiny person.
Well, I read, someone said, I don't know where I heard it, but someone said, I think it was on Nikki Glazer's podcast, actually. She was talking about weight blankets, and she's like, if you're a stomach sleeper, which I am, it would make you want to sleep on your back because, like, you get the weight on you just in a different way, kind of thing. I'm like,
It keeps you from tossing and turning a lot, so I don't end up in weird positions and sore in the morning as well.
Is it overly hot, though? That's my main question.
I do get kind of warm. Mine has, like, a cover on it that keeps it warm, but I keep the cover on just to keep cats and stuff off. But it's pretty hot in the summer, but otherwise it's not too bad.
Yeah. I'm a really warm sleeper, so I need cool.
Yeah, me too.
Coolness. But yeah, how are you guys, so are you missing, obviously you're both probably really missing stand-up. How are you dealing with that? Do you find that you're writing? Like, do you find that this is making you more creative or less creative?
Definitely less creative, because I find with like writing jokes, like I have to like kind of start saying it on stage to actually get somewhere with it.
Right.
Where like now it's like I like write down a cool idea and I'm like, sick. Can't wait to say that in maybe August. We'll see.
Yeah.
So in August, I'm just gonna have a set of all setups, no punchlines.
Yeah, well, this is kind of what I wanted to ask you guys, because I'm not a comedian, but I think about your guys's, like, what you guys go through in terms of like writing and all that. Like, do you guys ever like bounce jokes off each other?
Oh, definitely.
Like, yeah.
Well, I do quite a bit. Like, I find I get a lot of advice from other people too, so they'll help me out with my jokes.
Because I mean, that's a way to kind of test material in a way. Like, you could, so again, mentioning her yet again, Nikki Glazer was talking about how she has a Google document and she shares it with like her comedian friends, like when she has a joke idea or like something to kind of develop, and like they can go in and like leave notes on the Google Doc. And I was like, that's a really cool idea.
That is pretty neat. I like that.
Yeah. Just as kind of a way to like
our community, and they would just devolve into like Kyle Barnett and Chris Leff calling each other hacks over and over again.
Very true. Very true. But it's an interesting idea, that just the idea of like collaborative writing, you know?
Yeah, I haven't done much collaborative writing at all, but I saw like right before like the pandemic started, like I think the Tea House or somewhere downtown was like promoting that they want to do like a comedy writing workshop and bring like comedy, like people who write comedy in the city to come and like work together. So I thought that was cool, and
that would have
I was
been
gonna
so
try
good.
it out before like the world was put on hold.
Yeah, I tried to go to that. I kept having to work. What I really liked was one night when Matt Baker took over Fickle Frog for a bit, was that we didn't have any audience, so we just like did the whole thing like a workshop, and we just did stuff that we were trying out and got some feedback and stuff. So that was a really good idea.
That is a really good, I mean, and if you think about it, honestly, like when this whole thing happened, I was really cringy about the online comedy shows or like Zoom comedy shows, but you could take what you did with Matt and just do it on a Zoom call.
Kind of. I think it's, you just have to get a little more creative with it. Like
yeah.
If you just like can't come out and like sat here and said jokes, it'd be like super awkward.
Probably had to stand up, like
yeah. And like where people like either, I've seen like on like the virtual open mics, people like either like address the awkwardness or like have the laugh tracks or like a shot to something else instead of like a laughter. Like I saw one person do it. They did their whole set in front of like trees and just like.
That's funny. Well,
yeah.
Did you guys happen to see Travis's live show?
Yeah. I watched it last night.
I fell asleep.
Did you really?
I was gonna watch it and I fell asleep. I feel terrible.
You fell asleep. Isn't that when you're waking up? 8 p.m. What?
I moved from the bed to the couch and fell asleep again.
And it was too much work.
It was so much work.
You were exhausted going that
She
short
woke
distance.
up and then walked to the couch and was like, whew, that was a day.
Yeah,
God damn.
that was enough.
I feel you, girl. I feel you. Oh, man. I haven't looked at, like, the steps on my phone yet, but I'm scared to. Like, it's not going to be good. What was I going to say? But, like, yeah, Travis had a laugh track. And, like, as soon as I heard it, I was like, oh, God. But I was like, he really made it work. He was, like, having fun with it.
Yeah, I think it's because, I don't know if he was running or it must have been someone behind the camera, but, like, where it was, like, they definitely had like a soundboard or something where it was like different reactions to each joke.
Different types of laughs, like applause every now and then. Like
Yeah.
whoever was running that really did good. I feel like they need to put that in like an app or something for you guys so that you remember what laughter sounds like.
They should Zoom should really just add it to this, you know.
They should. I'm always thinking about that. I'm like, is the people who run Zoom, like, they're probably like loving all the fucking traffic right now to their program. Because like I upgraded my account because of all this, and probably a lot of people did.
Well, yeah, I didn't even know. I think most of the world had no idea what Zoom was before this.
It's true.
All of a sudden. I
mean, some people even did this. Like, I'm not a are you guys FaceTime people? I fucking hate FaceTime.
No.
I hate FaceTime. It's the worst. I don't want to see my own face when I'm talking.
No, same. I don't enjoy that at all unless like I have time to.
Yeah, I have to be ready for it. Anyone who just is like randomly FaceTiming you, it's like, whoa.
Really? Even as a dude, you have to be ready for it?
Well, I just don't want it to just come out of the blue. Because I'm definitely not going to answer it first. I'm going to take a second and then be like, why'd you FaceTime me? And then see if it's worth it.
Yeah. Like a civilized person.
Yeah, you're not a maniac. Oh, man, that's funny. Yeah, no, I like to be prepared as well. That's like part of the reason why I've been wearing makeup every day. Because I'm like, you never know. Someone might FaceTime me. So better wear it right away kind of thing. Yeah. But Durham, so you're fairly new to comedy.
Yes.
How long have you been doing this? Because I think I was there for your first show at Gus's.
Yeah, you. That was my first one at Gus's. That was my second set.
Wow.
I did my first set, I think just a couple days before that, so early November at Oasis.
Such a newbie.
Yeah.
Were you there for that, Vicki?
Oh yeah, I'm always at the Oasis.
Yeah.
Those are my boys. It's my bar, and those are my guys. So yeah, I'm always there.
Do you remember Durham's set?
I do. Yeah, it was a good one. Like you always kind of like try and remember like people's first sets because like it's such a big deal for them too. But because you came and watched it a bunch of times, and people were always making fun of your name too.
Yeah.
And then you got up and you did a really good job.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it.
Still doing it.
So did you go see a bunch of mics before you decided to get up and try it, or?
I went to I went to 3 like the week before I started, but like over the past 2 years, I've just like randomly gone to see open mics. I used to live almost right above Beerley's, just
oh, wow.
Less than a minute walk. So Beerley's is where I'd go see it all the time.
Nice.
Yeah, and I remember coming back in when I started comedy, I remember trying to think back to the comedians I remembered, and the only ones I remembered was Catherine, Travis, and Andrew.
The trio.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think maybe because from who I saw, I think they're a step more skilled than everyone else. They've been in the game a long time.
Yeah.
So they always stuck out.
I would call them the pillars.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just gonna say same thing.
You know, there's definitely people who they're the pillars of Halifax comedy, I would say.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, that's crazy. So what was it like doing your first set? Because I saw your second one. You brought friends to Gus's. Did you bring friends to your first one too?
I did. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's funny. Everyone was kind of surprised that I brought friends, but I actually I remember I think my 4th set was the first time I did it without knowing anybody in the audience, and I still feel to this day that was my worst set by far ever.
Oh, really?
Yeah. But my first set, I was really nervous for it, but then when I went up, I would say out of the jokes I told that first set, I still use 3 or 4 of them out of
okay.
And I think I said 10.
Whoa, that's a lot of jokes.
Yeah, I always have my jokes numbered on my sheet, so I know exactly how much I'm doing and stuff. And yeah, but yeah, no, it was nerve-wracking. But I think having my friends there really helped because they knew my sense of humor beforehand and would laugh when no one else did.
Did they know the jokes before you said them? Or was it a surprise to them as well? Well, that's good, I think. I think that's much better than, like, if you had practiced it with them and then you're like, come see me. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's good that they were at least fresh to you as well.
Yeah.
Or to them as well, you know?
Oh, that definitely helped. It probably would not have gone well if I'd been saying the jokes to them all week beforehand.
They're just like, this one again.
Yeah.
Ha ha ha.
And still, like, to get my friends to come out, I have to say, hey, come out this set this week. I'm doing jokes that you haven't heard yet.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, anyone who gets anyone to go to a comedy show should be commended. And I'm worried. Are you guys worried about, like, how, like, so say once this pandemic is over and we're allowed to, like, go out in public again, bars can be open, shows can happen. Do you guys think it's going to change, like, people's behavior? Like, or do you think people are going to be just innately more scared?
No, I think plenty of people will be coming to comedy shows because everyone's going to be broke, and that's the only free entertainment.
Yeah, it's true. We're gonna get just everybody's gonna be so shack happy that I think they're just gonna be happy to get out. And even if there's like still like restrictions on how many people and all that, like that might be really good for us. Like there might be like a lot of people trying to get into shows, and maybe there's not room at every show.
Yeah, it'd be a real ego boost to turn people away at the door.
Like, we are at capacity. We have 10 people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's an interesting. I didn't really think of it that way, Vicki. Like the idea of like it making it feel more rare.
Yeah, I mean, everyone's gonna be trying to get like out doing a lot of stuff, but where mics are so regular, and it's a great way for people who've just been stuck in whatever situation to get out. That I think like it really hopefully will maybe bring some more people out to the scene and watch and maybe join, do their own.
Yeah. It's crazy people's levels of what they are and not doing. Like right now, like I'm going for groceries once a week and I go for walks around my neighborhood. That's really all I do. There's some people, like I have a friend who has not left her house at all since she started. Like everything has come to her. She's gone out in her hallway, but not outside her building. Like that's how serious she's taking this. You know what I mean? Like, am I crazy? Like, I don't know if I could do that.
No, I don't think I could do that.
So it's okay that I'm going outside, right? Like, it's okay that I'm...
I think so. People need sanity.
Yeah, because I don't know.
Fresh air, vitamin D.
Yeah, and I'm not going anywhere. Like, I'm not going near people. But like, what about you guys? Are you guys like extra lenient? Like, what's your level of...
Well, I'm like
scaredness.
I'm kind of just saying screw it because I have to take the bus every day for work. So it's
what's that like? Oh my god, tell me about the bus. What's the bus like these days?
The bus is kind of wild. Like, so I just started wearing a mask every time I go on, and I'm hoping that they like make it mandatory to like have your face covered to be on the bus.
Yeah.
But some people just don't seem to get it. Like people like sit like right behind me. And I'll just give them a dirty look and then move seats, but it's just like.
And they're not really enforcing anything other than
the whole front of the bus is like blocked off, so the bus driver's just like 10 feet away, so he has no idea what's going on behind him.
Oh my god.
Yeah, they crammed me into a pretty small space. Like I took the bus once recently to go to Walmart, and it seemed like they blocked off a lot, which I mean. Protect the drivers, but almost like too much to the point where the driver has too much space and there's not enough for even a few people to spread out.
Oh,
and people are just like joyriding too. Like apparently like a lot of old people are just out, old people and teenagers are just out on the bus.
I heard that. That is insane.
I get so mad every time I see teenagers out and about.
Do you guys say anything to them?
No.
Yeah.
No.
I told a few to turn off their music the other day.
That's fair on a normal day. You know what I mean? That's the most annoying thing ever when people play their music out loud. I'm like, it's kind of like the idea of like taking a selfie in public. I'm like, why are you so confident that you're playing your music out loud? Like, Jesus.
And it's always like the shittiest rap. And
yes,
like the words. Like I like rap music, but it's never anything tasteful.
It's never good.
Yeah, it's terrible.
Yeah. I find I don't run into that too much. I've been pretty lucky on the bus, but I do get a lot of crazies who like to sit next to me. So this is definitely a time to be a little cautious, because they'll just sit down and spread corona all over me while they tell me about like how their daughter's on meth and they're pregnant again. And
oh God,
God talks to them. I don't know. Like yeah, I'm like catnip for crazy people. So.
Oh my God. I work with people with autism, so when I take them on the bus sometimes, I guess that's an invitation for people who have children with autism to come talk to me about it. And I'm just like, whoa, not right now, please.
That's uncomfortable. How do you get out of that? Do you humor them? Like, are you someone who?
I'm usually pretty nice about it, but then afterwards I'm like, why the fuck would they come talk to me?
All right. I can't see you being mean.
No.
I really can't.
Like, I think like the worst I'd get is just like kind of like awkward and uneasy, but
right.
I wouldn't be like, not right now or anything intense.
Yeah. I mean, like, I'm a people pleaser, so like I could never just be like, no.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, same way. Like I occasionally like, those seats where like the seats face each other and people will put like their feet up. I will tell them to like take their feet off, because like that's disgusting. Especially like rainy day and their carpet seats and stuff. But I'm so non-confrontational that I'm just like, some crazy person wants to talk to me at the bus stop, and I'm like, oh yeah, tell me all about it. Take the headphones out. All right, go.
Yeah, I don't know how you become someone who's like just like
I'm usually
says it like it is.
I'm usually pretty non-confrontational, except in a movie theater.
Really? What's it about movie theaters?
Well, if the movie theater rules just aren't being abided by, I will say something.
Oh, really?
Every
So
time.
are you a shusher?
I'm not a shusher. I'll like if they're close to me, I'll turn around and say to them, hey, like it's a rule in the theater to not talk. I think I get it from my mother. I remember one time when I was a kid, my mother literally stood up, turned around, and yelled like 10 rows back for these two people to stop talking.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, they had to stop talking, and I think everyone was happy she did it, but it was quite a sight to see.
Ooh, she set a good example for you. She was like, this is how it's fucking done in a movie theater. Yeah. Oh my God, it's been so long since I've been to the theater.
Oh. That sounds like a move my mom would pull too. Like she would always call out line cutters, and I do that as well. I'm like, no, like lines back here, buddy. I was ahead. I do, now that you said that you get confrontational at movie theaters, I get confrontational on escalators when I'm trying to get by. Like I get I'm really nice, but people get really aggro at you when you ask them to get by. And because like I work in the mall and I only have so much time on break, I'm hauling ass up and down the escalators to get my shit done. And they're just like, they're like, oh, you there that fast? I'm like, I do, because I have like 15 minutes. I need to get a snack and like a tea, and I gotta pee, and fuck off.
So get out the way, bitch.
Get out the way. It's not a ride. Stand right, walk left. Like I go, and then I've had like one time I was on the escalator and the guy like rumbled at me and finally let me by. And then I'm standing at the bottom of the escalator. We're yelling back and forth at each other about like the whole thing.
Whoa.
And I'm just like, fine, fuck you, dude. And I walked away. And so like, I'm not that kind of person at all.
I'm assuming that you abide by the rule that if you're on the escalator and anyone is behind you, you need to move forward and not stand there.
Generally, but you can, if you're going to stand to the right, and then if you
move to the side.
Walk, yeah, and then you walk to the left. Like if you go to like any place with transit and escalators, it's on like all of if there's stickers on all of the escalators, stand right, walk left. Like it's basic.
I never even noticed that there's stickers on them.
Yeah, not on ours. I've never seen them like on escalators here, but like I find like in Toronto and mostly Toronto is where most of my experience is. But like, yeah, it's like stand right, walk left. It's on all over like every escalator I've ever seen really that's like transit related. But in the mall, people just are like moseying, I guess.
Oh, I hate mosiers. You know what I hate the most? People who mosey in grocery stores.
Oh,
especially now.
Yes.
Now is not the time to be moseying in a grocery store. You gotta get in, get out.
I will say, I still am indecisive with my like I'm working on it. I'm that like my normal grocery shopping style is I know I need a couple things and then I just look around and I find whatever else I will need, but I do it quickly. Like I don't, like I'll just walk down the aisles and do it quickly. But now I'm like trying to like make sure I have a big list and I get everything in one go. And then I literally try to map it out as to where, like, my roadmap of my grocery trip, because the Sobeys at Mumford has arrows on the floors now that you have to follow. And I'm not gonna lie, it's confusing.
Yeah, if you miss like your lane from the wrong side, to me it's a Superstore on, was it Young Street or whatever, and they had all the arrows, and it was just like
and then you have to like take a long way like all around the store to like get back to where you're going. It's fucking confusing.
Yeah, I gotten all the way to the frozen aisle and then realized I'd forgotten to pick up green onions. And I was like, fuck. No.
Like, I understand why they do it, but it's just frustrating.
When I went, I was just like all over the place. Luckily, no one yelled at me. And then like while I was lining up to pay, I like noticed the arrows and was like,
but did no one tell you about the arrows?
No.
Then you're good.
Okay.
See, every time I've gone into Sobeys, there's been someone there who's like, you got to take a cart, it gets disinfected, then you got to follow the arrows. And I'm like, got it. Been here 3 times already. Got it. But it is still stressful to me where I'm like, I got to get in and out as quick as possible. I got to know. And then like there was one time that I got mostly everything and I was like, fuck, I forgot this one thing. And then I was like, it's too late. Like, I was like, I'm already in the line. It's too late. That'll have to wait until the next time.
Yeah.
It feels just so urgent and like stressful.
Yeah. That's where my anxiety comes from. Like I am a little afraid of getting sick because I have asthma. So it's like a little bit, like it's a little higher risk, not severe or anything, but like people getting confrontational or people like judging me on not doing everything exactly right is like, that's where I'm so stressed out about going out. Like a lot of the time now I don't, between grocery store trips, there's things I need. I go to the needs up the street because it's 24 hours. So I can go at like 2 a.m. Nobody's going to be in there. I can take like a second to think about the few things that I need and get out. Yeah, I'm going to pay more, but like there's also way less people around. So like, yeah, I pay more for the convenience store price, but it's a little less stressful.
Have you guys used grocery deliveries yet? Like there's a couple, like there's this one called Curia. Can't really say it right. Courya, Courya, I think it is, and it's similar to that, but they deliver to you.
Oh, okay.
I
feel like I couldn't do that. I need to like walk around and see what I need.
I'm trying to get my heavier items delivered because I pinched a nerve carrying groceries that were too heavy recently, and that fucking hurts.
I bet.
That's why I call that my current workout, is I buy too much at the grocery store and then have to drag it all home. And it works a lot of muscles.
And I'm always the one that's like, I can do it, independent woman. And then I'm like, everything hurts and my shoulder is dead.
And you got cats, so like that's heavy shit to carry around, the food and the litter. Yeah.
So I'm gonna get like my beverages delivered and my kitty litter delivered, I think.
I've just been getting my sister to drive me, but she makes me sit like in the back corner of her car.
Really? I was wondering what people are doing for drives and like cabs and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, because I haven't taken a cab in forever, but like I'm wondering what the precautions are.
I've taken a few cabs. I think it's like up to the driver. There's a few with like plexiglass, and then there's like a few who are just wearing masks and gloves.
I don't have a mask yet.
Yeah, I took one from Walmart and it was fine.
I like the one with the plexiglass.
Plexiglass, yeah.
Yeah.
I felt like I was in a cop car or something.
Or like a New York cab.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I was going to say, I don't have a mask, and I don't know if I should have a mask. I haven't worn one outside. I don't know. I still am confused as to where people are landing on that.
I know there's so many articles. It's like, don't you talk moistly? I don't know.
I think with masks, it's like
to do. I wear a scarf.
If you're going somewhere like highly populated, just have something to cover your face.
Like a grocery store? Would a grocery store count?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just like, even if it's just like a bandana or a shirt or something, like it's not like protecting you from getting the virus, but it's protecting it from spreading. So I feel like more promote it that you should be wearing it, more people wear them, and less it spreads.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
No, that's totally fair. Because I also heard like unless it's a certain kind of mask, and I think they said something like if you can feel your breath through what you're putting in front of it, it's not doing shit.
Wow. I think
I saw a lady in the
getting too specific. And
specific.
Just try your best. Don't be hating on people trying.
Just try your best. That's what it should be.
Yeah. I saw a lady in the store. She had the mask on, but it was pulled down so her nose was exposed. And I'm like, what the fucking point is that?
That's just a muzzle.
I have seen a lot of people doing that, and I'm like, that's not your best.
Yeah. That is not your best.
Just pull it up a little.
You make such a good point, though, because I think that like tensions are so high, and there's this constant, I don't know if you guys have found this online, like looking at statuses and stuff. Hopefully you didn't post one, I didn't notice. But like, you know, just the like, stay the fuck home and stay home, you jackass. Like this very aggressive like approach. I don't know if that's the right way to go about it.
My favorite posts are the people being like, oh my gosh, when I went to the grocery store today, I saw so many people. Stay home people. I'm like, they're doing the same thing as you, ma'am.
Yes. I hate that. Yeah. It's just like everyone needs to just kind of relax a bit. Look out for themselves because you can't control other people. You can't.
Yeah.
And also like assuming that you are, how do I even say this? Assuming like the news is telling us to stay home. The news is telling us what to do, like, and what we should and shouldn't do. But then people are still posting like, it's important to social distance. And it's just like, we know, we've been hearing this. What makes you think that you are more important than like the news? You know what I mean? Like, this is just it. And I just think it's try your best should be the new slogan.
God love my mom, but it's like she sends me like every article about like Canada and like what benefits I can get and everything. I'm like, yeah, I know. Like I read.
It's been jammed down our throats.
I read the internet. Like Facebook popped up and it was like, do you want to get constant COVID updates? Like I'm pretty sure they're already in my feed constantly. I don't need more Facebook. Fuck right off.
The best representation I saw of that was the other day. I was scrolling through Instagram and like one of those accounts of like just like of like a hot Instagram model, but she like had all this like COVID awareness stuff. And then like the top comment below it was like, excuse me, we come here for ass.
Yes.
Like,
yes. You still serve your purpose that you served before this. It's just now we're all inside.
Yeah. So now we need ass more than ever.
We need butts more than ever.
Yeah.
We need thirst traps more than ever too, I think. I love all these. I love just seeing how, because no one's really out doing cool things, so there's no new pictures. So people are, and I'm doing it too, I'm posting old pictures. I'm like, remember back then? And then, you know, I did a couple new ones because I planned it. But it's just funny. So people are doing that, or they're posting like pictures from old vacations. Like we're all getting very nostalgic for back when things were fun.
I've seen a lot of that. One of the bad things about the posting the old stuff is I haven't videotaped many of my jokes, so I've just posted like 3 jokes all from the same set.
Oh, really?
I'm like, I hope people don't notice that I'm wearing the exact same thing.
That's okay though. I think a lot of comedians do that, don't they?
Yeah, I feel like it's good to like mix it up.
Yeah. What about you, Vicki? Are you getting into like posts and stuff, or like doing any comedy? Like, I feel like I'm seeing a lot of comedians join TikTok, and it's unnerving.
Yeah, I am on TikTok, but I don't make TikTok. I'm on TikTok to watch all of the other ridiculous fucking people that are on there. Like, I started seeing them. I'm a big fan of the Your Mom's House podcast. With,
what's Your Mom's House? Oh, okay.
Yeah, and she got really into TikTok, and she shows like curated videos, and I'm like, these people are like the realest, weirdest fucking people ever. So like that's what I use TikTok for. So I'm not doing any kind of video. I kind of want to, but I'm still so new in my stand-up that I'm concerned about putting video at this level out there.
Right.
So I'm trying to find like other ways to do stuff. I haven't quite figured it out yet, but I'm trying to find a way to do something.
But that's okay, because like this is just a fucked up time. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, I put my energy into writing. Like, unfortunately, a lot of my jokes come from personal experience, so it's hard to get a lot of that that's not Corona related. But I'm like watching a lot of weird ass documentaries and all kinds of that stuff that I can just like maybe bring up and talk about.
Yeah. Well, I was gonna ask,
and it's all over.
I was gonna ask if either of you have like any like funny observations during this time that like you think might turn into a joke, or like things that are like that you've noticed, like just people's behaviors, or like Durham, like so you have a girlfriend, right?
Yeah.
Are you quarantined with her? Sort of.
She drives me to work sometimes to avoid the bus, so we still see each other because it's like.
Okay, but not like 24/7.
No.
That's good, because I can't imagine being a new couple and like being quarantined 24/7 right now.
Yeah, that'd be a lot.
That would be really, really bad. Yeah. But oddly enough, probably a lot of like proposal, like things are going to move at hyperspeed.
Oh yeah, you have like everything, all the first within like 4 months, you know.
Yeah.
You know, first love, first abortion, all of it.
Just at home abortions. They still doing abortions? Oh, they must still be doing abortions.
They're an essential service.
They are. Are they? Yeah, they are. Yeah.
I only know that because I saw like some Twitter thing about like an abortion doctor going at it with like some Catholic priest guy.
Oh, holy shit.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Because it was all mad that the churches were closed, but the abortion clinic was open.
Oh, wow. Well, have you guys seen like any news clips from the States of these crazy people who are still going to church?
No.
I've heard about it, but I heard people in Cape Breton, like someone's telling me like all of those little like communities, they're all still going to church too. And it's just like
insane.
That was where the first death was, and it's just like, oh, I wonder why. Like,
yeah,
who knows if it
well,
is.
It's all part of God's plan.
Yeah. Yeah.
The plan sucks, then
see you later. Have fun. Yep. Have fun in the afterlife. Oh, it's just crazy. People like, so are you guys people who are like, are you the types to consume a lot of news, or are you more like, I don't want to hear it? That's, you know what I mean? Like, how are you approaching processing?
I like check what's going on in Halifax every day.
Yeah.
The Halifax updates. But other than that, like, on like my Reddit, I like took off all the news ones and like.
Oh, did ya?
Yeah, and like I don't watch like cable or and stuff like that, so I can avoid it pretty easily. I mean, I know it's always going on because I can't go anywhere except work and home.
Right.
Yeah, I actually pretty much do the same. Like I check like the local Halifax stuff and see what's going on, and like if anything big has come up, someone will have posted it on my Facebook.
Exactly.
I try to step away from it for the most part, except I do have a Facebook friend who's real conspiracy theory. So I've been consuming a lot of that because that's
well, that's just entertaining because it's so crazy. Entertaining.
But I try and step back and stay away from it because it's too much. It just gets. I don't need to be reminded of how miserable shit is. So just try and like consume media that makes me happy. And like with Reddit too, it was something else like years ago that made me take like all of the news stuff off my feed. Like I know I can go and get the information if I want it, but I'm going to choose to just look at cat videos and like shit like that.
Probably the better way. I scroll late at night.
You can't be, especially all the Corona stuff. You can't be scrolling that late at night. That's when you need the cat videos.
I know. I'm doing it all wrong, but I'm also just like, my anxiety is very high scale right now. Like, it's weird. Like, I'm not really concerned about like what I'm going to do for work. Like, I'm not concerned about my personal life. I'm more like, is the world ending? Am I going to get sick? Are people I love going to die? Are like, it's more high scale now. And I need to create more of a bubble and start getting more like back into my life kind of thing. But it's hard when those news stories are like everywhere.
Yeah, they keep pushing things back and back and back, and that's just like so disheartening.
And no one knows it. Like there's no hope.
Yeah,
it doesn't feel like there's any hope. There's no like timeline. There's no like no one says the same thing when they're asked how long will this last. Like some people say June, some people say July, some people say a year.
Well, it's like every date, like every time someone gives like we're starting back on this date, it's like we're tentatively starting back on this date. So it's all like,
Yeah.
oh, so you're just like trying to say something, but we all have no idea.
We all have no idea. And I was on a Zoom call with two girlfriends last night, and I was saying, like, I don't want to be too bold in this statement, but like I kind of feel like, and maybe this is just movies teaching me differently, but like, why aren't the scientists just like getting together and figuring this shit out faster?
I was thinking today that this whole thing does feel like, it feels like the start of an apocalypse movie where they're just like showing the slow beginnings.
Yes.
And it just feels like that, like with like, especially like the early stages with like all like the government, like with like the state's government denying that it's happening and stuff.
Yeah.
It just feels very cinematic.
It does. It's weird to think that years from now there could be movies about this.
Yeah.
Oh, I think it'll be pretty quick after in this Hollywood.
Yeah, someone's probably writing something right now.
It'll be within 10 years and the United States will be the heroes.
Yeah. Oh God.
It's all the political fallout that I'm starting to get afraid of because, like, you know, Trump's doing stuff about like trying to buy pharmacy companies and like restricting this and that, and like seeing other countries start to do that, and then people like socially and economically, like people are starting to see that, oh, maybe we need healthcare and like, you know, universal income and all that, and that's, I think, gonna maybe make a big change in a lot of places. And also just like, I'm so stressed out about like stuff that we don't even know that's going on anymore. Like that stuff freaks me out. Like, you know, there's countries who were in peril before all of this with all kinds of stuff going on, like food shortages and things like that. And like, that stuff is like, that kind of freaks me out a lot more than just like riding through it. But it's like you're on a roller coaster and you don't know when it's going to end. And that's like where my anxiety comes from.
Yeah.
Like, I would just like a goalpost that I'm reaching for. Just let me know, and like maybe there'll be like a light at the end of that tunnel.
Because for me, it's like personal purpose. Like, what's my purpose right now? Like people who still have jobs, you still have a purpose. But like not having a purpose is what really truly like freaks me out, depresses me, stresses me out. Like I don't like that. Yeah, like I feel like I'm living for my cat.
Yes. Yeah. I'm really close to getting like trying to get like a Sobeys job or something like that, just because like I'm legitimately concerned about my mental health after like just being stuck inside all the time. And just like I have like good times and bad times, but sometimes I just like take my weighted blanket and like curl under it like I'm a turtle and just like
Jesus,
it's over. It sucks. Like
I feel you hard. I feel like you and I are on the same level.
It must just feel like you're just constantly waiting for something and it's just never coming.
I can't even like decide on like what shows to watch or video games to play. It's like I have nothing but time, but I don't want to do any of the things I would love to do when I have time. Like,
right?
Because it took me like I've been trying for weeks to find a video game to like get into, and everything I've tried to play like just won't grab me, and I just get fed up and stop playing.
I'm the same way. I'm like, there's so many shows I've been meaning to watch, but I just can't be like, watch this one. Do it. Let go and just be someone who consumes media. It's very strange. And it's also very strange to have a time in your life where you're like, no matter what I have to do, I could always do it tomorrow.
Yeah.
Like no matter what it is.
Like, it was a bit of a relief for a while because I was getting some stuff done, and I still like get a few things. Like my apartment's always been messy, and there's still like, because I had, when my ex moved out and I had 2 roommates, they left a bunch of shit behind and everything just needs to be organized. So I'm slowly getting that done, and I feel less guilty about it taking so long, but it's still just like,
yeah.
I have all this time and I'm still like, my apartment's still pretty much a mess. Like some things are, I threw out some things and organized like a shelf, but it's still a shithole.
Well, I mean, I think the thing is that that's okay. You know, like, I think that's the main message people should take away from this is like, no matter how you're dealing, it's okay to do like, because no one knows what the fuck's going on.
Yeah.
Man, so much anxiety in here. Like, you don't seem that anxious, Durham, though.
Well, no, because I'm pretty lucky to still have a job and like,
yeah,
and like I'm still working at least 40 hours a week, so it's just no stand up.
Is the productivity, like, do you find your productivity levels at work are affected?
Well, my job is pretty low productivity anyway, 'cause it's just like a home with 3 guys with autism, and right now we're just in quarantine, so we don't go out or anything. So it's just right now about keeping them entertained.
Right. And so working, and are they younger than you?
No, they're like all around my age. They're all under 20s.
Oh, okay. And is this something that you always want to do? Like,
no, it's just something I've always been kind of good at. Like in high school, I did Big Brothers Big Sisters. Then I worked for a camp with people with disabilities, and then I dropped out of university and needed a job, and it pays better than minimum wage.
That's amazing. Oh, you dropped out of university. That's kind of badass.
Yeah. Not really. I just hated it.
How many years of university did you do?
It was kind of like a slow dropout. Like I did like a good like 2 years where I hated it, and I was in commerce, so like business with all like the cocky business bros, and I just didn't fit in at all. And then I switched to economics and was like doing that like part time. And I just like slowly, like I did 3 classes and then 2 classes, then 1 class, and was like, I'm just gonna drop out.
Right.
Yeah.
Were you like, when you made that decision, was it like an easy decision to make? Like, I know if that was me, like I would be, what are people gonna think of me? And or like, did any of that come into play at all, or were you just like, I don't want to, so I'm done?
Not really, because I've always the only person who, like, my mom got really angry about it because she was always like, you can't do anything without an education, which is fair. I'm gonna need to get educated eventually, but no, it's like I got some pushback from her. But among my friends and stuff, everyone knew that I hated school, and that like I was the type of student who just never went to class and would just show up for the test and exams and hope to pass.
Did you end up, like, were you fairly smart? Like, could you swing that?
Yeah, I could go and like study for an exam for like 3 days and like get a C.
Wow.
Yeah. But then there would be like the odd like elective that I'd fail because I'd just never show up. Like I remember in my first year at university, I failed a class called the Philosophy of Sex and Love.
You failed it?
Yeah. Yeah.
That seems like an awesome class, though. I would be very interested in that class.
It was like the times I did show up, it was just very heavy on the philosophy.
Love it. All about it.
Lost.
Really?
And like the teacher, she was quite the woman. She was like, she reminded me of someone who would play like a witch in an 80s movie. She had like hair like out to here, and just like how she presented herself. She was like big eyes and so excited about how there's no such thing as genders or sex.
Oh, okay. Kind of hippie woo-woo.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
A lot of drapey, like sweater cardigan type things.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I can picture her. And I want to be friends with her.
Oh, I'm sure she's great to be friends with, but
to learn from, not so much.
No. Well, who knows? I went to like 3 classes.
Wow. And sorry, did you say where you went to school? Did I miss that? At Dal. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Got you. And you're originally from where?
New Brunswick.
New Brunswick.
A really small town called St. George.
Why is that familiar?
I don't know. It's like St. Andrews is near there. That's a touristy spot.
Okay, that's kind of where it is. So what was it like for you growing up in such a small New Brunswick town?
It was weird. Well, the weirdest thing about it was my mom was the vice principal of my high school.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah. So,
that really sucks. No fun for you.
I was like part of like student council and stuff, so I'd always be like, I'm gonna do creative skipping, where I'd just like say to a teacher, I'm off doing student council work, so they wouldn't tell my mom that I skipped.
Oh wow.
Yeah, because teachers would like go down to my mom and be like, Durham was talking in class today, and I'd be like, what?
Who, me?
My mom used to volunteer a lot at the school and keep an eye on on me a little bit. Like it wasn't quite so bad, but she would get super involved and stuff, which was good, but also like give me some fucking space.
Yeah.
No,
Actually, same.
My mom was too involved, and like since she was like the vice principal, and like so I was a bench warmer in like all sports I played. And since my mom was the vice principal and was my coach's bosses, she felt she could say something. And I was like, Mom, please don't say something just because I'm not good at the sport.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's so similar to my mom, though. My mom, okay, this is worse, though. Okay, so my mom, I got a job at Dairy Queen when I was in grade 11. And I was and still am not a morning person, but they had me, you know, back in high school working until sometimes I think 11 p.m. like in high school, which is late back in high school. Because you had to be up at like 6 or 7 in the morning. And I wasn't dealing well with that. And on my 3rd day, she actually quit for me. She called them and quit, like put in my notice for me. Like that's how involved as a parent she was. So I feel that very hard. And that is, yeah. Like they think that they mean well, but they're just not quite hitting it.
Yeah. It's like,
yeah.
I know.
I see that a lot at the mall.
I bet.
Yeah, a lot at the mall. A lot of parents come in and like apply with their kid for the job. Like they like help them hand in the resume and like push them over and everything. And I'm just like, yeah, that's going right in the trash. Like if you can't come over and talk to me, then you can't talk to people to sell them shit. So
seriously though,
let you go. Call center for you.
Makes you wonder too if like if you were to have kids, if you would be the same way, like just out of sort of how you were raised kind of thing, or if you would be like, no, I'm gonna give the kids the childhood that I didn't have.
And just let them be crazily independent.
Yeah. Well, I wouldn't go that
degree.
far. What's that?
But to a bad degree.
Yeah. I've seen that as well. Like parents who just weren't at all strict. And I can see the pros and cons of both. And I don't know which I'd rather have, to be honest. Because I grew up with a really strict upbringing, but then I was able to like have a lot of fun in college. And those kids that didn't have strict upbringings who were getting drunk in grade 7, like college was like nothing to them.
But I feel like there's an advantage to that because like I feel like I was one of those kids that like was like really, really good in high school, but like in high school I was like, because of who my mom was, I was like one of those kids like, oh, I don't drink. I don't need to drink to have fun.
Me too.
But then I get to university, turns out drinking's really fun, and I never go to class.
Yeah, it started like that, and then it was like one drink, I tried one joint, and then the next thing you know, it's just like, oh, right, fun.
Out the window.
Yeah, and like I was a good kid almost by necessity as well, not because I lived like in such a rural area, and I went to like such a small all-girls school that like there wasn't much for me to do to like get into any trouble because I couldn't walk anywhere, and like I think my parents like made the best call we were horse people by getting me a horse because that makes sure your daughter's going to stay a virgin for a while, at least through high school, because that's all you do. It's all you do. And no, there's always one token guy at the barn. He's never good, like never very interesting, and like you're just around women all the time.
See, you said that it would make you a virgin, but I heard that you can lose your virginity on a horse.
Oh yeah, but that would be so uncomfortable. Like I hear people make that joke, and like I remember riding, and like yeah, sometimes your pussy would get sore because like you'd be hitting like the like horn thing.
Doing the rising. Do you know the rising trot? I took horseback riding for 3 years, baby. I know.
Yeah, yeah. That one was better because like you weren't hitting your box off it. You were more like up and down.
Up and down. Yeah.
Yeah. If you had like a horse that like sometimes they would do this thing where like they would trot really fast instead of going into the canter, which is more of like a butt up like move. So they would just trot really fast and you would just be bouncing, and it would you get a little chafy, a little sore sometimes. Like not major issues, but when people make that joke, I'm just like, no, that's not how it works at all. It's not
maybe your horse just wasn't graceful.
I rode a lot of horses.
Yeah, but you said that you had a horse, like it was yours.
Yeah, I did
badass.
eventually get my own horse. Yeah,
pretty badass.
I rode took a long time. Like I had ponies and like would go do lessons on like the school horses and things like that until like my parents were sure that like I was ready for like my own. And like we had 2 little like old ponies when I was real little, and like my parents both had their own horses and stuff. So we had like a little farm. So
that's pretty badass.
It was a lot of fun. It sounds bougier than it is, but it was, you know, we loved animals, and my dad grew up with them, and my mom grew up riding too. So it was just kind of like our family thing.
Well, that's a huge responsibility to have as a kid. Like,
it's a lot. And like, you know, you have to not only just like the chores and stuff, which obviously your parents help with, but even just like tacking your horse up to go for a ride is a lot of work. Like you have to like, you know, the saddle is heavy, and then you have to clean all the tack off after. It teaches you a lot of responsibility.
It's a whole process.
Yeah. And just like a certain amount of courage, because you have to be the courageous one, because if you're scared, the horse is scared and all that kind of stuff.
Exactly. They're so sensitive to us too.
Yeah.
Horses,
oh yeah.
So. Speaking of parents though, I do have a question for both of you. Did you guys ever have a moment as kids where you got in trouble that like you still think about to this day because like they yelled at you so much? Like do you
I have a moment that like I completely lied but I didn't get yelled at, but I know that my mom knows that I lied.
Oh, really? What was the lie?
So, remember those like ad lib things?
Like Mad Libs?
Yeah, Mad Libs.
Mad Libs,
like, add things into it. Well, we had a book of them in grade 7 in class, and we were all writing in them. And, you know, the future comedian I put in a lot of inappropriate things. Like I would just, things that don't make sense. I would just be like, dick, cock, vagina. Just wrote that in. Anyways, teacher finds it, brings it to my mother, since she's the vice principal. And then, so she's like questioning all the students that were in there, then like keeps me after and is like, Durham, I know that this was your writing. Is it your writing? And I was just like, nope, not me. But like if you ever see my writing, it's very, very distinct that it's me.
Is it distinct bad or distinct good?
Distinct bad.
Like a child's writing?
Yeah, it's like my writing now is the same that it was when I was 12 years old.
I have so many friends like that. But I heard that the messier your writing is, like the more creative you are.
I was having
good, because mine's a disaster.
Yeah. I was having an argument with someone about how, because he was getting mad at me about my spelling. And I said, creative people don't need to learn how to spell.
Oh my God, I'm so bad at spelling, you guys. Like it's real bad. I was doing a logo for a good friend of mine today, and I literally misspelled her fucking last name.
Oh no.
And I was just like, I don't know. In all fairness, like it was close. But I was just like, I have no excuse. This is why I don't do graphic design professionally. Like, this is exactly why I cannot get paid for this, or could never be like, I was never really good at like, and I'm still not good at words with double letters. Like, I never know. Like, there's certain words that I just suck at.
Words with like success with multiple double letters always throw me through a loop. I'm like, which one am I doubling here?
Yeah, that's me too.
Yeah, those ones probably get me too. I am a pretty decent speller. I did take English and was like a big writer like all through my life, but there's certain ones like I still have trouble with like schedule for some reason. I don't know why.
You know what my biggest one is? Guarantee.
Oh, yes. Fuck guarantee.
My biggest one is beautiful. Instead of beautiful, it's B-E-A-T. I always put
B-E-A-T.
Beautiful.
Beautiful. Hey, that could be like, you could almost Urban Dictionary that as like, because like for makeup, they call it beat.
Oh.
Like you got a good beat on. If you got a good makeup look, you could say that you're beautiful. Like
I'll use that.
You got a good, we should put that in Urban Dictionary. Have you guys ever just looked up random words on Urban Dictionary?
No, but I know what I'm going to do later.
If you actually look up intoxicated and how I spell it and everything, it actually fits. So I'm going to look it up right now. So it says, someone's so involved in their conversation that the world around them disappears.
Oh.
Okay.
I'm like, I like that, and that fits. I think. So it's funny. I wonder if you look up names, if that.
I did look up my name the other day, but it just started saying like all the places that are called Durham.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I'm gonna look it up. I'm gonna see Durham.
There's like a couple towns, and there's a university.
Yeah, one of the top UK universities thinks of itself as better than Oxford or Cambridge.
I follow them.
Stuck up.
I follow them on Twitter. I follow them and Durham Regional Police. And with Durham Regional Police, when I like show something good, I like to say, "Hey guys, Durham here. Love the work."
Love the
Hey.
I love that. That's so funny. I was actually thinking the other day about Twitter stuff and how Andrew Vaughn, like we called him the Big Cat, that was his nickname. He used to tell me that on Twitter, he would get some Twitter account liking his tweets all the time because he would sometimes mention his nickname, Big Cat. And I was trying to scroll back when I went on his Twitter. I was trying to scroll back to try to find a tweet that said Big Cat in it, but I couldn't. But I was wondering if it was actually Big Cat Rescue from Tiger King.
That would be amazing.
Right? Because like that would make sense because they have a big online following, and I'm wondering if it was them. Wouldn't that be crazy?
Yeah,
That'd be crazy.
I feel like big celebrities and big companies like some weird algorithm because like when I post stuff on like Twitter and when I like post stand up on Instagram, I'll like randomly sometimes get liked by like a semi-famous comedian or like the Comedy Store or something, but like just randomly.
Do you ever wonder if they're like whenever I get a like that, I'm just like, is this a genuine like or is this a bot?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I always think. A bot.
I used to like in my like really early days of podcasting, I used to like to think it was real, you know. But there's so many of these like spam accounts that are just like it's so obviously spam.
Yeah.
And it's so like it makes it feel so like disingenuous. Like, what are your guys' feelings on social media in general? Like, do you think it's evil?
I use it begrudgingly. It comes in very handy for a lot of things, and I've had to like really learn Instagram. I find with stand up, and then I also we have to post Instagrams for the store I work at as well. Right. So trying to like come up with that content all the time has forced me to kind of learn it, but I had no idea like about anything new. Like I don't do Snapchat. I don't have like Facebook and Instagram is it. I don't do Twitter. Like it's too much. I feel like people want my attention all the time, or like I'm supposed to give my attention to it too much, and I don't like to do that.
That's exhausting.
I think social media has pretty good uses. I think people use it too much, but
as long as you use it right.
Yeah, like I love going on Facebook and getting invited to a good event. I get pumped.
Yeah.
Hey, yeah, no, that's actually a really good point. I mean, like I think personally I would just hate life without it. You know, like
you probably get more phone calls.
I love talking on the phone. Like I know
a few people I do.
Yeah, with friends, I like it.
I'm a big fan, like if I'm like planning something over text, like trying to make plans, I'll just be like, all right, are you fine if I just call you for a second?
Yes.
I always do that.
Yeah,
I really appreciate that because actually it reminds me of when I did the Intoxicated live show. I had never met Brian Otter from New Brunswick ever. And he and I were DMing because like we kind of knew each other just through social media or whatever. We never met in person. And literally he was like, can I call you and like run some ideas by you? And I was like, yeah, absolutely. And I loved that. I was like, that's what the world needs, you know? Like a good phone conversation, even if you don't know the person. Apparently a lot of people, this is something. Online dating right now is interesting because
I've heard of this.
A lot of people are doing like FaceTime or phone dates with like just their Tinder matches.
That sounds horrifying.
Right?
Yeah.
Like,
not a fan of that.
Like at least like out like that's like why you don't do a dinner date on a first Tinder date, so it doesn't feel like a face-to-face interview. so you have something else to do besides talk. So I feel like just the Zoom date would be so aggressive.
A Zoom date would be, I wouldn't mind a phone call. If it was someone that I was texting with regularly and I actually really enjoyed, I would be like, let's chat. But like, I feel like FaceTime or like this would be weird.
Yeah, like a couple conversations and then you work up to like the FaceTime video chat. Like it's the new like steps.
Well, at a time like this, like if you get a connection with someone, are you just like starting like, all right, so let's start this relationship as long distance? Like, is that how they'd be starting?
I don't know. Yeah, that's actually really good. It's
or like, what are they leading to? Like, are they just saying to each other over Skype, like, oh, can't wait to see you in 2021. It's going to be a good time.
Right? And like, if you really like them and like, cause like I am a firm believer that you can develop really good relationships by distance. I'm a firm believer in that. But I do also think that if you were to enter a relationship, be boyfriend, girlfriend, you got to know what each other are like in the physical realm before you ever put a title on that. I think you could be like, we're seeing each other. We are dating, but like, we're not boyfriend, girlfriend.
Yeah.
Until you can hang out in the real world a bit.
You ever watch a 90 Day Fiancé?
I haven't yet. So I watched all of Love is Blind. So 90 Day Fiancé is the next thing I think I have to get into.
90 Day Fiancé is like the trashy Love is Blind.
Yeah.
And it's amazing.
I'm
really excited to watch it. They talk about it on Your Mom's House a lot, and I've been watching just a lot of it because I got really into Tom Segura and Christina P. But they say it's like pretty amazing.
Yeah.
I would say it is. It's a pretty tough watch alone, but it's one of the funnest shows to watch with other people.
Oh, well, Durham, that's useless for me right now.
Yeah.
Rub it in, why don't you?
You can do Zoom 90 Day Fiancé parties.
Yeah.
Could that be a thing?
Literally, 90 Day Fiancé has a show that's like a spin-off of it's just old cast members talking about the current show while it's playing.
Whoa.
That's how good talking about it is.
Well, there's like 4 seasons of this show, apparently.
Oh, there's so many seasons and like spin-offs. It's very intense.
I heard someone say that you could start at season 4 if you want to start at.
I feel like you can start anywhere. Like,
yeah, you don't really have to start at the beginning.
Yeah, like just start at the start of a season. Like you know what's going on.
Well, I mean, we Durham, you weren't on this debates that we did recently, but one of the debates from Thursday night was arranged marriages. And like whether they're like you're for or against arranged marriages. And I'm like, the older I get, the more I want one.
Just get placed with someone and be like, you're stuck with me. Let's figure this shit out.
I just want to be set up. Like, why haven't I been set up? That's like my main question. I'm like, do people just not know single dudes? Or is it like what you said, Vicki, about like, you just don't know the right person kind of thing?
Yeah. So I know all comedians pretty much. So that makes it a little harder.
I mean, I'm okay with that.
Do people even still do that though?
What's that?
Do people even still do that though? Be like, oh, I have a friend who'd be great for you. Let's set that up. I haven't heard of that happening, only on sitcoms.
I've been set up once, and it was actually a really good date, and the guy just didn't have romantic feelings for me. Tale as old as time. Typical. Loser. No.
I've done a few like not like setups, but like, you know, we all go to the same thing as like a group. Like we all go to karaoke, and maybe we make sure that the chair next to the next to the one person is open or whatever.
Interesting.
Yeah, those are more natural.
Yeah, those kind of natural
stealthy
things.
setup.
And also I've done like the non-stealthy setup where I had 2 groups of friends at the Oasis, and one of them leans over and she goes, that guy over there that's with your other table, like, is he single? And I'm like, I don't know, but I will find out. She's like, no. I'm like, no, I'm on this. And I just like hop off my chair on one of those tall chairs, hop off, roll on over. I'm like, hey, I know we've met a dozen times, but I forget your name. And I got his name. And I was like, my friend over there wants to know if you are single. And he's like, yeah. I'm like, all right. I grabbed his hand and I just hauled him over to the table.
That's
I'm like,
amazing, Vicki.
So-and-so, this is so-and-so. Kiss.
I feel like that's way better.
Yeah, I have no subtle. Like you put a little bit of beer in me, and I have no subtlety. I tell like my guy friends when we're out at the Oasis, like if you see a girl you want to talk to, like I'll do the recon. Like I'll make friends with her in the bathroom. Like I'll just give me a target. Like,
holy shit.
Help me help you.
Okay, well, we do have a guy here. Durham, what do you think of the direct approach?
Like of a guy being a director or a girl being a
girl?
Oh, it's great because it's like, you know what's up.
Exactly. There's no
like
guesswork.
if a girl's directing me, I'm just gonna have so much more confidence because I'm like, oh, they're definitely into me. Whereas I'm trying.
What if you're not into her?
I mean, that's not something I've encountered often.
Okay.
But I don't know. I feel like I just like play it off nice.
I truly do think most guys appreciate it.
Even if it wasn't someone I'm interested in, I'd be very flattered. I'd probably still blush.
Right. Yeah. I think I think Vicki, you're on the right I think girlfriends especially we need to be more aggressive and
I mean, it's hard. I mean, I talk a big game, but it can be still hard to like work up that courage to go and even just like for myself or to help somebody else out. But like sometimes you just, after the last couple of, years of my life and everything going crazy, I'm like, fuck it. Like, who's got time to sit around and waste it? Like, let's get on this. Like, let's see if these people can meet. Let's see if we can make them like smash parts. And if they don't, they can go away. And, let's
so right.
Get out there and meet as many different people as you can. And like, why wait?
Death is upon us. Death is upon us.
See, a couple of years ago,
we don't know when the next COVID could happen when we finally get out. So like, get on it.
A couple of years ago, I tried like the direct approach, like of the guy, like being like just like asking a girl out and stuff.
Yeah.
I remember I asked out this girl at she worked at a convenience store I was going to a lot, and I thought we had a bit of a connection. She just said no, and it was just like, oh shit, this is why people don't do this.
Aww.
Why you do it over Tinder?
How did she say no? Is the question.
Oh, she said no nicely.
Okay.
She still said no nicely, and still it's just like, oh.
But even that, like, even saying no, like, I get scared to reject people. Same way. I'll divert. Like, I'll just change the subject because I don't like getting rejected, so I don't like to reject people. So if I feel a guy is like leaning towards something, and I did have one guy who I met at a speed dating event who was not in my age range, older guy, like 50s, messaged me on like Facebook Messenger being like, so like this is random, but do you like older men? And I was just very much so like, Sarah, you got to be direct with this because otherwise he's going to think you're flirting. So I was literally just like, depends on the older guy, but right now I'm not interested in anyone. Right now I'm not interested in dating anyone is what I said. And he was like, hey, thank you for the honesty. And I was like, you're welcome. And then that was it. And I didn't put myself in a situation where I was like trying to be overly nice or like try to accommodate. Stuff like that we got to stop doing as women, I think, personally.
Yeah. One of my favorite things from a podcast is my favorite murder. And it's a fuck politeness. Because like
politeness
will get you murdered. Like if you're just trying to like not make a fuss or not make a scene, like that's the shit that we all need to learn. It's just like get loud when people are being shitty, like make a scene, like don't do things to not cause a fuss and just like
that. And like I feel like any guy who opens with do you like older men is not the type of older guy like that. Just you instantly made it creepy.
But what if he was a younger guy opening with that?
Like being like, do you like younger guys? I think it would be less creepy.
No, just a younger guy being like, you like older men? Too bad.
Oh yeah, that would be weird.
That would be weird. I feel like when an older man asks if you like older men, he's interested in a certain power dynamic.
Yes.
And I'm not about that. Like if a younger guy asked me if I was into younger people, I'm like, well, I'm kind of like, the higher level on that one. So it's just like,
exactly.
Go for it. And I'm emotionally immature, so it's fine with me. But there's something about always like the big age gap that's always kind of creeped me out about like some relationship like you read online and things like that. Yeah. It's just like there's a whole thing where you have like this much more wealth of experience. And it might not always just be age, it might be like experiences and all that. But like there's a dynamic where you want to be in control instead of in a relationship.
It's true. I tend to say 10. I wouldn't go above 10 years.
I think that's probably like a good number.
Yeah. So that would be 43 for me. So Durham, you have a girlfriend. How did you meet?
Tinder.
And how did that whole thing dance go down for you guys?
We went on a Tinder date and then continued to do so.
What did you do? Pretty straight. Durham's like, this is pretty straightforward, Sarah. This is how it works. In case you don't know, this is what happens. I'm like, I don't fucking know. I haven't done this in 8 years, motherfucker. What was your first date, though? That's always what I like to hear.
We went to 2 doors down, and I remember I had lost my ID, so I just kept saying, I need to order really confidently so they don't ID us. And
you didn't tell her that you lost it?
No, I did.
Okay.
That's how I opened the date. It was like, hey, by the way, I don't have an ID, so I'm hoping for the best.
That's kind of exciting, though, in a weird way.
Yeah, I'm sure she felt the rush. I was really excited when we got our drinks. I don't know.
That was me for the couple weeks after I lost my wallet. I couldn't get it anywhere. I couldn't get served. Like nothing. I'm way too old for this shit.
Yeah.
It was like a month I didn't have an ID because I lost it on a plane, actually, and I just couldn't get it back, and then had to get a new one from New Brunswick, and it just took forever. But I in that month I learned which bars and which liquor stores wouldn't ID me.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Yeah, I knew I could always go to bars where I did stand up, and I would be okay, unless I was going to Sniggly Wiggly's where there was a doorman, because their doormen are not.
I've heard
the
this.
Best.
Yeah, I've heard this.
After your event, a bunch of us, they were like, "Where's your ID?" After we all went out for a smoke, and it's like, I was on the show. It's down in the back room.
Yeah, I heard about that. That sucks.
Yeah.
It's impressive, Durham, that you went on a dinner date for a first date, and not only a dinner date, but you went to a nice place. That says a lot about you.
It was more like drinks and apps.
Oh, okay. Not like a meal.
Yeah, no, I feel like a meal's too intense for a first date.
I agree. I don't eat in front of someone until 6 months in.
Oh, wow, that's a long time.
Maybe 6 weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like eating in front of someone's really intimate.
I dated a girl who just didn't eat in front of people as a blanket statement.
Oh, that's an eating disorder.
Yeah, as we talked more, that became apparent.
Yeah, but I mean, you know what's crazy though is so many women have disordered eating, and they just don't call it that. Is the sad thing. Really weird, and men too for sure. Your relationship with food can be fucked up. Mine is anyway.
Especially now with there's so many crazy diets that people think are so good for you that it's no, that's just starving yourself.
Yeah, intermittent fasting.
Yeah, or the worst than intermittent fasting is the 1 meal a day.
I've done that.
Oh, that's no. If I feel if you're doing that 1 meal a day, that one meal has to be a Michael Phelps meal.
When I've done it, I've gotten to the point where I've been shaking and weak, and what happens is you literally binge, you eat so much because you're so hungry, because doing little snacks all day just ain't cutting it. You got to have a couple meals a day at least. Right now I'm doing 2 main meals and then a bunch of snacking.
Yeah,
I just gotta eat as much as I want when I need to. Unfortunately, I kind of just accidentally intermittent fast and things like that.
Yeah, me too.
I get to eat, especially with depression. I'll just be I'll just have a handful of Cheerios because it's here, and then that'll be my dinner.
Or you're actually sleeping so much that you're just intermittent fasting by sleeping.
Yeah, I had a little bit of spotty vision in the shower the other day. I was just I should have eaten before I got in here.
Oh shit!
The last time I did. Yeah.
That sucks.
I still randomly have those days where it's 4 p.m. and I'm oh shit, food. That's right.
Yeah,
I have to eat.
I need to feed myself.
It's really interesting. Yeah, it's your people's relationship with food is an ongoing
Seems like a lot of the men and people I know in my life always want to make sure that I'm getting fed and feed me, at coworkers and guys I've dated and just friends and stuff are just I have an extra cookie, eat cookie, and I'm just I'm good, but thanks for cookie.
Well, and I think too, I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I grew up with, Maritimer, the hospitality of eat more, have more dessert, have seconds, have thirds, and it's just you don't want to overeat either. I feel I grew up with conflicting messages of oh, you show you're a nice person by feeding people and like making them feel bad if they don't eat. But it's like, but then you shame them if they get fat. It's just like, what am I supposed to do?
Yeah. Can't hit a moving target. God damn it.
It's very confusing.
Yeah, I had pretty good eating habits. Like, I didn't have to, like, I wasn't forced to sit there and eat everything if I wasn't hungry. And I was a bit of a picky eater, which I think my parents overindulged a little bit, but I grew out of it. And now will try pretty much anything.
Yeah.
But like when I got a little bit older, my mom I was really, really skinny in high school, like teeny tiny, like 80 pounds. And I wouldn't eat a lot at lunch because I didn't like the school, because I went to private school. We had our own like lunch cafeteria where they made us like a nice meal, and I didn't like a lot of it at the time, so I would just eat like celery and ranch. And people would ask my mom like if I was okay and stuff like that.
No.
But then I gained weight because I was on medication. My mom would say things like suck in your gut, and I'm just like, I managed to come out fairly healthy. Like I have a scale and I check it like every like month or so.
I haven't checked in so long.
Yeah, I just like to see where I'm at. But like I didn't buy a scale until like last year, I think, because I just didn't really want to know. But I was on like trying to lose some weight, so it was nice to know like that you were getting somewhere. But
absolutely,
I try not to use it and not to obsess, because I will like step on and it'll be like 2 pounds heavier, and will just freak out for like 3 weeks.
Yeah, no, and I mean, if you're recovering from an eating disorder, they say not to have scales.
Yeah. So I keep it like up in like it's like in a high closet, like it's a pain in the ass to get to. It's in like back in place, so that like just an extra level of like, let's keep my sanity.
That's fair. Oh man,
I don't know.
We gotta play the game.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
2 truths and a lie. I'm not gonna do it because I forgot. And also, you guys probably know me pretty well because I'm just open book.
Yeah.
But I'm especially curious about Durham because I don't know you as well as Vicki. So this is going to be interesting. So do you have a 2 truths and a lie?
I think so.
All right. Let's hear it. So you're going to name 3 things and we got to figure out what the lie is.
Okay. I'm my mother's favorite child. I was a sugar baby to a 75-year-old woman named Dottie from Quebec City.
If that's true, we're going to have to do a whole other episode.
I'm my mother's biggest disappointment.
What?
Ooh.
You are truly, because see here's the thing about this game. My instinct, okay, whoa. This is weird. You really threw a curveball in there.
Yeah, that's
Huh. Because 2 of them are so opposite that they wouldn't be both true.
Maybe.
Well, you wouldn't pick a favorite that you think that you're disappointed in, would you?
People work in weird ways.
People do work in weird ways. What do you think, Vicki? What do you think the lie is?
I think the disappointment, because I feel like your mom wouldn't let you know that you were a disappointment. Maybe. I want to believe in moms.
Oh, she's still a good mom.
Yeah.
Let's go with the disappointment as the lie.
No, I was never a sugar baby.
So how can you be her favorite and also her biggest disappointment?
Because she had such high expectations for me. Where I was like, I was always the favorite, and she was like, I was like always the easiest to raise, and like I was like a pretty good student in high school, and like I'm still her favorite, but I did not reach those expectations at all.
I'm definitely the least favorite and the biggest disappointment in my family.
Okay, well that's not much of a win.
Only child pressure. Whoop whoop.
Definitely not. I was gonna say if that sugar baby one was true, I would.
Wish.
Yeah, because Mitch has kind of like a similar thing, but I don't think that it was overly sexual what he experienced. So I don't think it's as juicy as I want it to be. All right, Vicki, let's hear it.
Okay, I got a couple. Let me see. All right, I'm gonna just do like some I'm pretty open book too, so I'm gonna do some these are 3 weird things that I may or may not do. I like to eat peanut butter and cheese sandwiches. I wish it was socially acceptable to eat finger foods with disposable gloves on. And I hate having my feet cold, so I only ever take my socks off for sex and showering.
Ooh.
Why do you take your socks off for sex? Just leave those bad boys on.
That's so not
Coming from a
sexy. It's not
man.
sexy when guys do it. It's not sexy when girls do it.
Jesus Christ. Okay, let me think.
I gotta say the lie's gotta be the peanut butter and cheese sandwich, because that is absolutely like that's just so gross. But it's so gross that it must be real, because there's no way you just come up with that.
Peanut butter and cheese. I do
you
think that
grill
you
it?
are a bit of a germaphobe because of all the anxiety. So the gloves thing could be true. Which now it might be socially acceptable to eat finger foods with gloves.
Yeah.
Might not even be socially acceptable to have finger foods.
Yeah. Yeah. Why don't we go with let's go with the lie being the
I say the PB and cheese.
Yeah, let's go with that.
That one is true.
Oh.
What? Vicky, explain yourself.
I've been eating it since I was a kid. I don't know where I ever came up with it, but like it's not that weird because you think about it, like, have you ever had a peanut butter burger? Like that's cheese and peanut butter and then like meat and stuff. So it's just kind of like a
there's meat.
Yeah, I didn't like it.
I know. And like I will sometimes grill it. Sometimes like I'll microwave it or do like toast. But I like when the cheese is a little melty. I don't know why I like it. I just do. It's not as gross if you try it.
What the heck? What kind of cheese?
Like real cheese, but like the slices.
Okay, not like Kraft singles.
No, not bacon cheese.
Just Cheese Whiz.
Because I wonder if a grilled cheese version of what you're doing would be better than a non. Like, do you know what I mean? Like toasted on the pan, melty.
Yeah, I do that sometimes when I feel like effort, but usually I just like toast it like in the toaster or put it in the microwave.
Whoa, that's wild. That is wild. I think we can do. Let's do another. Do you have another one, Durham?
Oh, I'll tell you my lie.
Oh yeah, we didn't even get to that.
No, what's the lie?
Socks off for sex. I actually hate wearing socks.
I despise socks too. Yeah. Okay, and then and then the gloves thing is also.
Oh yeah.
True. Okay.
I prefer to like take messy food home and eat them with gloves for real, like a psycho. I hate it when the food gets under my nails, or if you're out like wing nights, it's like I'm out and I've already like put on makeup and shit, and you're all greasy, and I just don't like it. It's a weird
that's
finicky
fair. I can understand that.
I don't have any more truths than a lie, but earlier today I did read a BuzzFeed article on talking points to have with women in their 30s.
Oh my God, what is this?
So there's 15 of them. Some of them are pretty basic, like how you doing? What's your favorite movie? But I wrote down like my favorite ones that I saw on there.
Please tell us.
So this was number 2 on the list to talk about with women on their 30s. Men are trash. Am I right? And am I right is all one word.
Always.
Yeah.
This one I was confused by and had to look up, but must be big with women in their 30s. Can we just take a sec to say we are not over Baychella, which is apparently when Beyonce went to Coachella. I didn't think that'd be big with women in their 30s. BuzzFeed thinks so.
I don't get the like. I like Beyonce, but I'm not in like the Beyonce hive mind. Like
me neither.
Well, you guys are fake feminists then.
Probably.
I respect what she's doing. I'm not into it.
Okay, what else is there? This is fun.
Number 6 on the list was, did you see the Obama's vacation pics?
Okay.
Which is fair. Women in their 30s, I find, do think Barack Obama is damn sexy.
He is quite sexy.
Mm-hmm. And I hear the vacation pics. There's a shirtless one.
I'm Googling right now.
And then the last 2 I wrote down were, what's your self-care routine?
Oh, yeah.
And we already kind of hit on this one is, what's your mom like?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So mommy issues are pretty deep with women in their 30s for sure. Because you start realizing them in your 30s, I think. You know,
you
like
to realize where you're more like them as well. Like they start to cross over, and like where my mom listens to a lot of like my stuff that I put on like podcasts and the debates and stuff. She's just like, yeah, you're my daughter. I'm just like, oh.
Well, what about the self-care stuff? Can we all let's go around the table and talk about what we're doing for self-care during this quarantine.
A lot of weed.
Weed, yeah.
Edibles. But I do have a really good self-care routine that I use just in general. Like if I've had a rough day, is I get a really nice bath bomb from Lush because I work in the mall. So I go down and I'm like, I've had a shitty day. I want to be relaxing, or I want like the most sparkles or whatever. And I just let them pick one for me. And then I go home and eat an edible, draw the bath, put on a funny podcast, get in the bath. Usually, and
nothing better.
Just
A1.
laugh my ass off. And yeah, that's and I do it even now. Like I'm a big bath taker. I find it's a good way to get off the phone. Just put on something to listen to, whether it's music or I'm big on podcasts in the bath. And just
have you ever used like the weed bath bombs? Do they work?
No, but I should try that. I ordered some stuff today. I should have seen if they had those.
What about your self-care, Durham? I'm curious about a guy's self-care. What it looks like.
Yeah, you're curious because like guys don't do much self-care.
Do you have baths?
No. I take showers with music.
I feel like a guy having a bath seems gross.
My dad takes baths, but he's super, super tall and gets claustrophobic in like a shower.
I feel like it's something we do when we're sore and sick.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
And it's manly if it's full of ice.
Yeah, I feel like dudes don't have the pressure to do self-care as much as well.
No, like
I've always had self-care culture is so big, but I've always had my little like routines of like, if I have a shitty day, I'll like be watching, like I'll watch a Law and Order and I'll like eat Kraft dinner because that was a comfort food, or like I'll buy myself a Kinder Egg. And like, so
right.
I've always been big on like doing those little things for myself, just to like kind of get through life. And
it's very important.
One thing, if I do have a bad day, I will usually like order like good food or something.
Food all around. Yeah.
Yes.
I had a donair after the debate segment and it was delicious.
Oh, nice.
Well, guys, I got to wrap her up.
Not ordering food. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, I got to wrap her because I got to get to my Nikki Glaser dance party.
Oh, nice.
But thank you guys so much for coming on. This was so fun.
A lot of fun.
Yeah, this was fun.
You guys.
Do you guys want to plug your dates that you have coming up or anything?
No.
Where you can plug your social media though. Where can people find you on the socials?
Right now.
Right this second. What's like if you want to plug Instagrams or Twitters or anything like that? Now's the time to do it.
On Instagram, I am at Instadurs. Very active there. On Twitter, I am at Durham Stands Up. Currently have 9 followers, so trying to get those numbers up.
That's a good handle, though. I'll follow you.
Oh, great. 10 followers, so trying to get those numbers up. And for dates, you can catch me yelling jokes from the bus terminal every night on my way home from work.
Yelling.
Yeah.
From 6 feet away.
Oh, that's funny. What about you, Vicki?
You can follow me on Instagram at Miss Vicki Welch, and that's VICKIWELCH. Like the grape juice. Thanks, parents, for that.
Like the grape juice.
Not a lot going on there. I've been walking my cats, so you can see those in my stories. Took my cats for a walk and trying to be creative. And otherwise, I don't know. That's pretty much it. I should get on Twitter just for something else to do.
Put some funny shit on there. Why not?
Yeah.
It's fun. I just make tweets of things that I think are funny and get absolutely zero response. So
what was your handle again, Durham?
Durham Stands Up.
Nice. I gotta think of a good Twitter handle because I tried to get Miss Vicki Welch and it was taken, and I think that's what that slowed me down.
There you are. There we go. Following. Perfect. That's awesome, guys. Well, thank you both so much. And hopefully, we have nothing but time, so I'm sure you'll be back. Whether it's on an episode or a live stream or a debate or whatever. I'll probably be doing a lot more live streams as well. So we will see more of these guys in the future. But thank you guys so much. And I'm going to ring the bell for you Or maybe you can act like you're ringing a bell. I don't know. 1, 2, 3, bell go. We got it. We did it. We did it.